Welcome to What in the Smut podcast.
Where the books are horny, and so are we. I'm Elle.
And I'm Kay. So, anything going on in the Smutverse this week?
Indeed. So this week, a judge gave the final approval on the largest settlement to date in a copyright lawsuit.
Okay.
Anthropic, the company that built Claude, is now in the process of paying out $1.5 billion, yes, billion dollars to authors whose works were uploaded to a pirated database, which Anthropic used to train its Claude model. While some argue the settlement is too small, initial estimates by Anthropic themselves put the potential liability in the hundreds of billions. The plaintiff's lead attorney called it a historical settlement, saying in a statement, "It is the largest known copyright recovery in history. We look forward to making distributions to the class as promptly as possible."
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If hundreds of billions of dollars is something that's attainable for them to do for a payout, what the fuck is going on with
It's not
AI money?
It's not attainable.
Okay, so does that mean, is it gone? Or are they gonna just
No, so they initially thought that they were like, if you assess it the way we think you're gonna assess it, it would cost us hundreds of billions of dollars, and we can't afford that. It would have bankrupted them. So the payout is $1.5 billion.
Which, the fact that that's even something that's possible for them to not go bankrupt is wild, is what I mean.
Yes.
Any number in the billions is too much for this, which is something relatively brand new in this grand scheme of things, to already have that kind of money. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on whether or not the AI industry is a bubble, because I have so many thoughts. Instead, let's talk about a book that makes me think that I deserve compensation for having to read it. Okay?
So I blame this on you because you picked
It is
this
my
one.
fault.
So this week we read My Hotdog Came to Life and Screwed Me by Sky Corgan. The synopsis says raunchy, funny, and just plain wrong. My Hotdog Came to Life and Screwed Me is full of wiener puns and plenty of not give a fuckery. Written for those who are looking for a laugh, but also want to get their perv on. The name says it all.
Mm-hmm. Where would you put
does
this one on
it,
our
though?
smut scale?
Does it?
It does not.
This is a 2, I think.
I agree.
There's one scene.
Yeah,
There's a lot of talk about inserting vegetables.
there is.
But overall, it's nothing. The vegetable and food play kink, I think, is the biggest part of it that puts it at a 2.
I agree. There aren't any trigger warnings at the start of this book.
No.
So aside from the food of it all,
Aliens,
I would say breeding kink.
yeah.
I
But,
would say
breeding kink without her knowing.
yeah. Which does put that does push it into the non-con. Although I don't know that she's allowed to say she didn't know when he announced that his mission was to come down and breed with humans.
Fair. She just thinks, it can't happen.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what Bella and Edward thought too. It's been so long. I haven't made a Twilight reference in a while.
It has been a while. So there is an unexpected pregnancy, if you can call it that.
I think it's more of an unexpected birth.
Yeah. Everything about this was gross.
Yeah, a lot of the food stuff just was not great. And you know what? Again, this is all on you. You hate the food stuff more than I do.
Yes.
And you found this. This wasn't even from our list. You found this and you said, how about this one? It's short.
I blame Vera Valentine, as I often do, because it was on her website for sentient object romances, and hot dogs are a very classic summertime food. And I was like, this feels thematic. We missed 4th of July. So this is a little bit more generic for summer, and I have regrets. You can hold this one against me.
I have to know what Frank from the Basement Yard podcast would think about this book, because he loves a hot dog.
Frank, we would love to talk to you at length about this particular book. Give it a read and come join us.
Could you imagine?
Yes. What do the reviewers say about this one?
So this had a 3.3 on Amazon, a 3.1 on Goodreads.
Wow.
3-star says mustard and relish, please. Okay, I will admit that I thought it was a cute read, but being a one and done by a hot dog. Come on, really? It was a light spot in a long day.
Okay.
Sure. Everyone's entitled to their opinions.
Even if they're wrong.
A 5-star says wrong in all the right places. This is a sci-fi / erotica / humorous story. Impossible to categorize. It's hilarious. It has sex in it. There are aliens. It is very well written. It is short. You'll end up reading it multiple times. Wrong. Like a good movie that you keep on watching because it's so funny even though you know the story and the punchlines. Definitely a deep fried Twinkie. It's bad for you, but it feels so good.
I've decided that not everyone is entitled to their own opinions. A 3-star on Goodreads says, I went to 3 stars because of how hilarious this was. Gail, our lead, naturally progressed from masturbating with vegetables to an alien hot dog. No condiments were off the table. In fact, most of them were running down Gail's leg. And we never even got to know this magnificent Frankfurter's name because it would supposedly make your butthole explode. Yeah, that's a direct quote.
Yeah.
This was just a very funny romp in the garden of processed meat. Bizarre sex, ridiculous lines, and, well, something that just left me both sexually frustrated and hungry at the same time. Guess I'll be hitting the grocery store on the way home today. I'll end this with a quote from Superbad. Quote, they literally stopped me from eating foods that were shaped like dicks. No hot dogs, no popsicles.
No notes.
4-star from Goodreads. Oh, how did you find my personal review? It might as well be. I'm dead. This was short, sweet, and weird as fuck. Why did there have to be mayo?
Yep.
I hate it.
So, as always, I mean, for how short this was, there was a little bit of plot in there, which is wild. We will be going through. There will be spoilers. If you want to give Sky Corgan their page reads, the link for this one will be in the show notes. Are you ready to get into it?
Once again, I find myself saying, I'm not sure ready is the right word, but let's go.
Ready as I will ever be.
Indeed. So, I don't know. It felt a little strange. And I feel like a lot of times in sentient object romance, we get a first-person perspective.
Yeah.
And this was third person.
Yep.
So we knew the main character's name immediately, which saves her having to introduce herself to us later, which is actually kind of nice. So yeah. Gail is not particularly interested in the news that a shooting star touched down directly in her neighborhood. The thing hadn't even impacted like a meteorite would. In fact, many speculated it was just a strange optical illusion. The loonies, however, insisted that the star carried alien life. Now, this is foreshadowing, if you can call it that, in an 18-page short story.
Also made me think of the weekend of your wedding, actually.
Really?
There was some sort of meteorite or something made this crazy like sonic boom in the Northeast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I was like people in the Northeast, people were talking about it like you could hear it everywhere. And it was loud and shaking houses and like real big noise. And it made me think of that when it's like a shooting star, a touchdown. I was like, oh, maybe there's a hot dog out there somewhere for me. Kidding.
God, I hope not.
So we get if aliens had come down, Gail was pretty sure she would have noticed. She walked right past the landing zone every day on her way to work. And then we get that she had a fetish for wieners.
Oh, and that is written on the page.
Yeah.
That's not Kay paraphrasing.
Now, I have to wonder because as a Rhode Islander, like a hot wiener is a thing. And it's not where you're from. It
is definitely not.
Let me tell you, wieners and hot dogs are different.
Okay.
Wieners are a little bit smaller and it is delicious, but it comes with if you get a hot wiener all the way.
You're fucking with me right now.
I'm not. Hot wiener all the way has celery salt, onions, mustard, and this like meat sauce on it.
Okay, that sounds very similar to a coney dog.
Similar, yes. And so the
coney dog has beef heart. as like the meat sauce.
No, this is not beef heart, but it's where they kind of originated from. One of the big places in Rhode Island is called New York System. So, I mean, it probably did actually originate in New York, but let me tell you, a hot wiener, different than a hot
all
dog.
the way.
Hot wiener all the way. So good.
Okay.
I might need to get one soon because they're so good.
All right.
Definitely a Rhode Island thing, though.
Incredible. So it would appear perhaps that Gail is not in Rhode Island because this is a hot dog vendor.
Yes.
And the owner of the hot dog cart is pretty abhorrent. He looked like he might have crawled out of a dumpster every day before work. He wore a wife beater that was several sizes too small, that was now a sickening yellow color with stains all over it. His name was Garth. The first time Gail heard it, she thought it sounded more like barf since he half belched it, half slurred it at her.
He reminds me of the guy in Men in Black.
I was just going to say the guy in Men in Black, yes. Correct. Vincent D'Onofrio's character in Men in Black.
Yes.
The man was a prize, the type you never want to win, but his wieners were delicious, big and juicy. He stuffed them himself, packed that meat in as far as it could go. I hate it.
It's bad. Like, here's the thing. I have a dirty mind all the time anyway, and this even went so far as to be like, no, there's no other way you could interpret any of these things.
Mm-hmm. Just thinking about it made Gail's mouth water. If she could ignore the man whom the wieners belonged to, she could enjoy them in blissful delight.
Whomst among us. Right?
You make a good point. An excellent point.
I mean, where's the lie?
Gail does not suffer necessarily from the fate that I feel like a lot of romance main characters fall into, where they own a bakery or a bookstore or what have you.
Yeah.
But her day job is especially bizarre because she spends her days playing with big limpies, as she calls them, which is testing the products at a pool noodle production company.
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Gail loved playing with noodles almost as much as she loved shoving wieners in her mouth. It was a simple life, but all of that was about to change.
This is more outrageous than we've read in a while.
It's true. It's true. I will say that it is not taking itself seriously.
No, not at all.
It is
not even a little bit
to be outrageous. It is trying to get a reaction out of me. And like, it's one of those things where like I am almost resentful of the fact that it's working. like a school bully, you know, it's just like all he wants is a reaction. And if you give him a reaction, it's going to encourage him. And I feel like Sky Corgan is just like, yes.
How far can I push you till you break?
Yes.
So she orders a hot dog. She's 2 miles away from her home.
Insane.
It's
insane
and
walk.
she's walking.
Yeah.
And she walks up to the hot dog cart and says, "Hey, Garth, you know what I want?" And he responds to her, eyes firmly glued to her boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Men.
Mm-hmm.
And Gail watched as he pulled one of the giant weenies from his cart, slapped it into a bun, and smothered it with ketchup and mayonnaise.
Just the way she liked.
Now, I've put ketchup and mayo on a hamburger, cheeseburger before.
Mm-hmm.
A hot dog needs mustard on it.
I agree.
Sometimes only mustard. I'm okay with ketchup and mustard, but like not mayo. What? Not mayo.
No. So she can't immediately eat the hot dog. She gets a phone call from her mom, so she walks down the street listening to her mother. We get a bizarre insight into her mom, who was a cat lady with a twist. Any cat she saw, even one with a collar, she would scoop up and spirit away to live with her and her other 87 cats. She was so notoriously bad for stealing people's pets that her neighborhood had taken to calling her the cat thief. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Gail's long walk home and then an additional 30 minutes of meaningless pussy banter
Yeah.
referring to cats,
Mhm.
means that she smells pretty bad by the time she hangs up with her mom. And so she decides that she should be clean. She decides not to bring the hot dog into the shower with her. Now,
That's a great
no,
choice.
she should not bring a hot dog into the shower with her. I agree with this choice. I don't agree with delaying eating the hot dog, because a hot dog cart hot dog
Yeah.
that you walked 2 miles is 45 minutes at least.
Yep.
And then an extra 30 minutes with your mom on the phone. So
that
this
bun
hot
is going
dog
to be so soggy.
so soggy. The hot dog is going to be cold, and congealed. This is not going to be a pleasant experience. And the longer you put it off, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all I could think was nobody wants a whole cold hot dog.
No. And she's like, well, I want to savor it. And if I eat it now, I'll just inhale it. The time to savor it was when it was fresh.
Yeah.
Now you should just inhale it.
So now she's showered.
Mm-hmm.
She wraps a towel around herself and can't wait a second longer. Not going to get dressed. Got to go eat that hot dog.
All that mattered was satiating her overwhelming need for Garth's giant wiener.
Yep.
Those are words.
On the page.
On the page.
So the hot dog was no longer in its cardboard cradle. It was standing at attention, and Gail felt like it was looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
And the hot dog says,
"Be not afraid." Which is crazy. It's crazy because, I don't know, all I could think of was Gabriel coming to Mary. Because that's the type of shit that angels say when they come down from God.
Wild jump.
That's what he says. That's what he says. That's what he says when he comes down to Mary. He's like, be not afraid.
I mean, so she's like, what do you want? Because he says, I have no intention of hurting you. And he says, I'm an alien life force come to make contact with your planet and interbreed with your species. Now, I think that luck was on his side, because if he had come down and actually landed in taking over Garth's body, nobody wants
that's what
that
she
man.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, why are you a hot dog? And he says, I was aiming for the man and missed. And she goes, that sucks, but you should be happy that you missed. And he goes, why? And she goes, because I don't think there's a woman on the face of the planet who would want to sleep with that man.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yes.
But also she has the thought that it's he was blunt when saying that he's come to make contact with with the planet and interbreed with her species. She knows that he's trying to have sex with her species.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think you should have been a little bit more
prepared,
circumspect, about having sex with the alien. But
so she looks at the hot dog and she's like, he seems polite enough. I mean,
literally.
What a reason to agree to have sex with someone. And he was definitely big. She couldn't count the number of times she'd thought of sticking one inside of her. As of now, her food fucking repertoire had stopped at vegetables.
Well, it actually hadn't, because she had fucked cucumbers and squash and carrots. But one time she'd been brave enough to try it with a banana, which is insane to me. The curvature didn't work well with her inner shaping. And when it bent inside of her, she just ended up with a gooey mess.
Overripe banana. And also, poor thing that the curvature didn't work.
I just don't trust her decision-making skills. I don't think that you'd want to interbreed with this particular person.
Well, that's fair. So then she's like, well, what do you think of me? And drops her towel, trying to seduce the hot dog.
Why does he seem surprised by this? He's like, you? The hot dog seems surprised. What? And she's like, I do like a big wiener. And so she reaches out to touch him. And he goes, oh, that feels nice. And she goes, I like hot dogs a lot. And he goes, are you really sure this is okay? And she goes, well, aren't you a shy little doggy? I thought you had a mission to accomplish. Everything about this upset me.
So he's like, I will take you up on your offer, Earthling woman. Also reminded me a little bit of Coneheads.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then she says, excellent, lays down on the living room sofa, exposing herself, and says, come here, big boy.
Certainly, this wouldn't hurt anything. Without a man's body, there was no way that the hot dog could impregnate her. Hell, he didn't even have rocks to get off. And I have this highlighted because obviously, there's going to be a pregnancy.
Yes.
He announced it.
Yeah.
She lays down in complete disbelief of what was going on. Was she really going to let this alien hot dog fuck her? As soon as she felt the tip of his wiener touch her nipple, she knew the answer was yes. The sensation of him moving over her body was strange. His meaty exterior was soft, yet the trail of condiments he left behind made Gail feel greasy.
Yeah.
I have regrets.
Yeah, I thought you might. She does a little bit too, I think.
I agree.
So then the hot dog teased across the seam of Gail's lips and she parted them. I'm not going to lie, thought it was not the lips on her face.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, I don't think this is a good idea because she's thinking that if she lets the hot dog go in her mouth, she's going to bite him.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fair.
She's real hungry and she really likes hot dogs. So muscle memory or something. So then the hot dog made his descent down, down, down to her pleasure fiesta. Already her body was saying Olay the closer he got. The bar was open and so was her legs.
He hesitated as he balanced on her mound, looking over the heavy shrubbery at his willing victim, lover.
I won't lie, I breezed right past that.
Me too.
And having it read to me, nope, I don't like that at all.
No, it's about to get even better. I should probably get undressed. And she goes, undressed? And the bun fell away from him like a man's dignity at a Bieber concert.
Rude. Bieber's making a comeback.
Is he?
He is. He's a talented man with a lot of demons.
Doing his best. And she goes, you're fine just the way you are. And he goes, really? And she goes, yes. Now hit that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The hot dog wasted no time. He jumped right in like a diver at a swim meet.
Even though Gail's body gave resistance, it was futile, which is a crazy, crazy reference. Do you know resistance is futile?
Yes, I've heard it, but...
It's Star Trek. It's the Borg in Star Trek. So I guess aliens and sci-fi, sure. She cried out as his meat filled her taco, his sauce mixing with her own juices to form a new kind of dressing, one that was just for them.
No.
Ketchup and mayonnaise.
However, I had a question. I mean, ketchup has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
But it is acidic.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna affect the pH balance quite as much.
Yeah, but sugar is going to give you BB. And then you put in raw eggs from mayonnaise and you're so cooked.
Nope, raw eggs, not cooked.
It's so over for you. So there was something missing, though. Gail wished that the hot dog had hands to touch her, but then she realized she had hands of her own and everything was okay again. That made me laugh. So she touches herself, and then the hot dog says, I can't stop, I'm gonna. And then Gail dug her nails into the sofa as the waves of euphoria broke free and washed over her. Her clit pulsed and her pussy contracted, squeezing around the giant hot dog. He slammed into her a few more times before stilling, and Gail felt the distinct sensation of her body filling up. It was so warm and strange. Buckets of something gushed out of the end of the hot dog, making Gail internally panic. Then she grasped at the hot dog with both hands, trying to pull it out, but it was as hard as steel, unmoving. It didn't say anything either. What the fuck?
It's like we kind of got a nodding hot dog.
Kind of. We kind of got that.
So then it was over. The hot dog slipped out of her, panting. Well, it was making a panting noise. There were no obvious points of entry for lungs, but that damn thing was heaving. Gail touched a fingertip to her pussy and brought a glob of the of the substance up to her face. It was white and disgusting. She sniffed it, tasted it. Mayonnaise.
I will admit that I glossed over that, and having that read to me was horrific.
And he says, "Thank you, Earthling woman. You've made my job so much easier."
And she goes, "It's Gail. My name is Gail." And then asks him his name. And he goes, "If I told you, it would make your butthole explode." And she goes, "As in diarrhea?" And he goes, "No, I mean, it would literally explode like a rosebud gone horribly wrong." And she goes, "I'll just call you Doggy then."
Okay.
No, it's not okay. The wiener shrugged his bun back on and started heading for the front door. Gail sat up and looked over the couch, realizing with a sick desperation that he was leaving. She didn't want him to leave. It was like every guy she had slept with in the past 5 years. Hit and run. Weren't aliens any different? And she asks where he's going, and he says, "I must leave now, report back to my ship and tell my commander of all the wondrous things I've seen." And she goes, "You're coming back though, right?" And he goes, "I'm afraid not. My work here is done. It is up to you to finish the rest."
At least he told her and didn't just ghost her.
Yeah, he did tell her that he wasn't coming back. But that doesn't stop her from pining after him for months.
No, I mean, that's the most relatable part of all of this.
I guess. I don't know. It's not like they had any kind of conversation to indicate that she would have liked him if he stuck around.
Yeah, that's true.
But her hot dog craving waned and she stopped going to get her favorite dinner completely. Garth seemed equally depressed by the loss of his favorite customer. Once when Gail was walking by, he actually looked at her face of all things. Still, the kind gesture wasn't enough to make her want his wieners. And then she started getting sick at work. She ran to the bathroom and vomits, and to her surprise, a stream of ketchup came shooting out of her mouth.
This is horrifying.
Oh, yes.
And also, like,
how did you know that it was ketchup and not blood?
I mean, I guess you can taste it, so there's that.
She goes to the doctor. The doctor's like, "Maybe it was something you forgot you ate." Which, like, this is interesting to me because I feel like every time I go to the doctor, they will run a pregnancy test just because.
We're just going to have you pee in a cup real quick.
Yeah. So I don't know if they just didn't make her do that or if hot dog life doesn't show up on a human pregnancy test. But
there's been times where the doctor's office is like, I think we're going to run a pregnancy test. And I'm like, you didn't look at my chart because I don't have the goods anymore.
Yeah.
It's definitely
no possibility.
It's definitely not a pregnancy.
Literally. But she went back to the doctor multiple times, and several more months passed, and Gail just accepted that being a ketchup dispenser was a new part of her life. She puked like clockwork every morning, then returned to her post, playing with noodles all day.
Also, this is a myth that morning sickness is only in the morning.
That is true. Also, it should pass after like the first trimester.
Yes. Sometimes there's also people that will be sick all the way through.
That's fair. That's not fair. I mean, it's unfair, but you are right. Yes.
It wasn't until one Saturday that everything came to a head. She was sitting on the sofa watching a show about this guy who's in love with sex dolls when she felt a sudden shooting pain in her ovaries. The next thing she knew, a gush of some greasy-looking fluid was streaming down her legs. So she sat on the toilet for a good several hours, it says, pushing and grunting and screaming and crying. It felt like she was being ripped apart.
Finally, after what felt like forever, whatever was inside of her gave way with a plop. Gail grabbed the side of the counter to brace herself as she stood, her breathing ragged and tears streaming down her face. When she turned around, what she saw absolutely flabbergasted her. In the toilet was a perfectly wrapped package of hot dog wieners.
And that's where we end.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm going to see if I can find, someone had written a review that gave an alternate ending to this.
I love it.
I'm going to see if I can find it really quick because it was hilarious. Okay, I found it. So this was a 1-star on Amazon that says the ending that you needed. She reached down into the toilet and pulled out her perfectly wrapped hot dog children. Gail couldn't believe she was now the mother of octuplets. How was she going to afford to get buns for all 8 of them on her noodle-making salary? Gail's mind quickly went into overdrive as she racked her brain trying to figure out what to do with her shiny, greasy hot dog babies. Option 1, she could give it to her kitten-loving mother, though she was sure they would just become food kittens instead. Option 2, she could take them to Garth. He was an expert in hot dogs. Of course, he would know what to do with them. She gathered the 8 weenies and put them in a jar with water to keep them safe. She wrapped herself in a hoodie and ran down the street to Garth's hot dog cart. Garth slowly looked into her eyes as she presented him the jar. He looked confused at first, but then he smiled a yellow-stained smile. Garth grabbed the jar and dropped them into his cart one by one. Plunk, plunk, plunk. Gail couldn't bear to look at the scene in front of her, so she ran home with tears in her eyes. Hours later, after crying her eyes out on the grease-stained couch, a knock sounded at the door. She reluctantly dragged herself to the door and looked into the people. There stood Garth with the 8 hot dogs dressed up in buns and condiments. She flung open the door, not knowing what to say. Garth handed her all 8 hot dogs and said, "Thank you for bringing me these babies. I never thought I would ever be a father. I mean, look at me." Gail indeed did look at him. Garth continued, "For your generosity, I will pay you with my own wiener for these hot dogs." And then they banged, and Garth basically became her new baby daddy. She was now the queen of the hot dog cart empire, and her 8 hot dog kids named Oscar, Meyer, Vienna, Frank, Furter, Doggy Jr., Garth Jr., and Gail the Third. And they lived happily ever after. The end.
I disagree that was the ending I needed.
But it was just as ridiculous as the rest of the story.
No. I'm glad that they were inspired.
At least it gives you some kind of tied-up ending.
I guess. You're right.
So, what did you rate this one?
This is a 1 from me. It's funny, but it doesn't have like any of the things that I would want from a story like this, which is either a satisfying ending, good smut, or an enjoyable journey.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, I loved that it was ridiculous. I like that it leaned into it. I like that it wasn't trying to take itself so seriously. And I think like the puns are great, but like the way that I cringed with every sentence just made it not an enjoyable read. And then on top of that, like, we did not get good smut. And we did not get a satisfying ending. So it's a 1 star from me. How about you?
I'm also going to go with a 1. It reminded me of Nailed.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the alien piece of it. But that was much more well done.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was funny. I did like the puns. But yeah, no, this is a 1 for me.
How on earth did you cast this?
Oh, well, buckle up. So for Gail, this outrageous story needed an outrageous actress. So I went with Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson looks so different after Ozempic.
Yeah. She's lost a lot of weight, even I think prior to Ozempic. Like she went through a big fitness journey for a while.
My apologies, Rebel. I didn't mean to steal your valor.
She did, yeah. She lost a lot of weight. But she does look a lot different. But also, she's just got that ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous. So I went with Gail. And then for the hot doggy, if you will, Frank from Sausage Party. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, and I have no interest.
Yeah, well.
But sure, this is Seth Rogen, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's voice on a hot dog.
I think so.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought of the whole time that I was reading it. So, yeah. So, what are we reading next week?
Next week, we are reading Tumbled, Taken by the Horny Washing Machine by Sky and Philomena McKinnon.
Yep, we are.
That's what we're reading.
There's a whole series of these.
Okay.
There's one about a self-checkout machine, one about a sailboat, one about an MRI machine. So
one about a soccer ball.
Yep. So it should be interesting to see what is going on with these. This is an author I hadn't heard of yet. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Should be fun.
Well, if you've made it this far, this was a short but ridiculous one. We do appreciate you. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Links for everything will be in the show notes. And with that,
we are at our wits' end.
We'll see you next time.